It brings back memories of days that I once knew. Oh, the days that I spent with you. Oh no, don't let it play. It fills my heart with pain. Please stop it right away. I remember just the word it said. It said, darling, I love you. You know that you lie. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. You lie, you lie, 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 lie. Remember on our first date, you kissed me and you walked away. You were only 17. I never thought you could act so mean, but baby, you told me you loved me. You swear that you care. You say I'll go with you, darling, almost anywhere. But darling, you know that. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. You lie, you lie, lie, lie. Oh. Remember on our first date, you kissed me and you walked away. You were only 17. I never thought you could act so mean, but baby, you told me you loved me. You told me you cared. You say I'll go with you, darling, almost anywhere. But darling, you know that. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie, baby. Darling, I love you. You know that you lie. You lie, you lie, lie, lie. Stop it, baby. Don't play it no more. Don't play it no more, darling. Don't play it no more. No, 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 no. Don't you do it no more. Baby, baby, baby. Don't play it no more. Oh, la 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 la. I'm in love again, baby, with you. La 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 la. I'm in love again, baby, with you. Oh, la 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 la.
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Bring it, bring it, bring it. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Ladies, get yourself one. Get a backup generator. Something on the side. Fit right in your pocket. Something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. We all need one. You know, BC's back up sometime. All my girlfriends out there, tell me what you think. Should you let a man drive you to drink? He stay out all night, come home all worn out, smelling just like perfume and lipstick on him out. Roll with the punches, make him think you sleep. When he start the snoring, that's the time you creep. He could be a short man, ain't gonna be too large. Make sure when he show up, the battery's in charge. Get a backup generator, something on the side. Fit right in your pocket, something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. say you don't. Tired of the foolishness, man. I need something working away from me all the time. Get it? I know some people out there think I should hold my tongue, but why should you just sit back and let them treat you wrong? You ask them for a chocolate, and every time it melts, get your own chocolate and feed it to yourself. 6 pence for the good news, 6 pence for the bad. When you had this good thing, didn't know just what you had. Don't let them have you waiting, cause you ain't no waiter. Y'all don't even stress out. Get a generator, get a backup generator. Something on the side, that's right in your pocket. Something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Flip the switch, girls. Feel the fire in your wire. Let it take you higher. This is my favorite part right here. Don't worry about the shock, cause that's the best part. He'll always make you rich every time he starts. Just keep him on standby, ready to kick in. Cause when your man see you smiling, he'll wonder where you've been. Get a backup generator, something on the side. Fit right in your pocket, something you can hide. When them man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Boy, this music sweet. Makes me wanna vibrate and shake. Sweetness, weakness. Come down, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Right on it. Get a backup generator, something that won't quit. Just keep the motor running with lots of spark in it. When them and them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Get a backup generator, something on the side. That's right in your pocket, something you can hide. When them and them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Get a backup generator, something that won't quit. Keep the motor running, lots of spark in it. When them and them joking, tell them catch you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Right on it, right on it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Darling, can I talk with you a while? Yes, it's important. Very important. I know she is beautiful, and I know she's much younger than I, but the years I've spent getting older were years I gave with love to you. So before you choose between
dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.
Boom. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. Beautiful. Grateful to be in your company, jamming with you on this beautiful Monday afternoon, September 15th, 2025. And I think I'm thinking to myself that we're going to have to make modifications to that, right? I'm going to have to kind of set up the show in episode sections as opposed to being able to do it in days, right? So we're going to have to do it episode 1, episode 2, so we're going to have to kind of make modifications to that for the purposes of being able to set it up as a season, right? And with that, we can be able to dive into, it's for the purposes of accessibility on the internet as opposed to the days. I don't know. I mean, my producer and I are going to have that kind of a conversation. But how are you guys, man? How was your weekend? Talk with me. The line's open if you want to be able to hit me up. The numbers that you can dial is 827-0111. 827-0111. We talked about that. I had a great weekend. We got some great stuff done. I had an opportunity to be able to do some stuff. Let me tell you something. I was running. Listen, I get this little thing, right? Every time stress hit me, my neck is kind of like seized right up, right? The right-hand side, right? And last week, we had sort of a crunch time as it relates to the newspaper, right? We had to send the newspaper off and just double checking and triple checking and making sure everything was aligned and so forth and so on. We had to send the newspaper off to the States to get a print. And the time slot was laid out in a particular manner. So we were working late into the night, and I was stressed out. I was calling everybody, making sure everything was good. I was trying to be able to be cool and calm and collected. And my kids start jumping up and down. Daddy. I said, hey, don't stress your daddy out for Jesus' sake. Right? So we were able to get those papers out and do everything that we were supposed to do. So I'm grateful for that. Grateful for all those persons. Guys, when you see the paper, it should be out next week. I want to shout out all our partners, man. You're going to see it in gas stations. I'll let you know those gas stations with clarity after we've been able to kind of seal the deal. But for the most part, Porky's has said yes. Peter Roca has said yes. Like I said to you, we've heard a yes from Garden of Eden. They've said yes. On the top of the hill over there on Prospect Ridge, the gentleman who sells papers, I think his name is Kenneth, I think it's Kenneth. He said yes. The gentleman on Shirley Street, he says yes. I'm going to have some guys selling papers. A lot of the gas stations have said yes. So everywhere you go, you should be able to see the paper. You should be able to pick up a paper. And being able to do that in Grand Bahama Municipal has said yes. Prescription Parlor Pharmacy in 8 Mile Rock has said yes. Bellevue has given me a yes, right? So you're going to see that Bellevue Gifts and Supplies in Grand Bahama also. So listen, man, this ain't no game. We got a couple yeses out of Exuma. We got some yes from, we're waiting on a yes from Abaco. If you guys are out there and you're from Abaco and you want to be able to distribute the newspaper, please give me a call. 827-0111, 827-0111. And now, for all those persons who've been calling me and hit me up, it's only me. Don't fight me. Please, don't fight me. And I'm still considering you richly, right? I have checked your stuff out, and there are some of you that I'd love you to be able to jam with me. I've checked your stuff out, and I want you to be able to do some stuff with me, okay? So don't fight me. Let's make some things happen and kind of move forward with that. This week, tentatively, we should be able to have Lisa Ramming on. We're looking to be able to just got to be able to confirm a day with her to make sure that she's comfortable in terms of being able to move forward. But she told me that this week would be the week for her. And if you other members of parliament want to be able to come on, it's time. It's time to be able to start talking to these things. I don't know what's happening with Sylvanus Petty. I'd like to be able to talk with him. I don't know why it's kind of on again, off again, back and forth kind of. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, I'm not gonna fight him because he said that he's going to be the prime minister of this country one day, and I didn't know how he would get there without parliament. I mean, this is me personally. I don't know. He said I'm going to be. He said I'm going to be prime minister one day, right? And then he said I'm going to leave parliament. What kind of political monarchy? I don't know. This is peculiar that he would leave parliament and find himself back into a position that I don't know. I'm confused. So he says that he's going to be able to get back into it, and so we're looking to be able to do that. I got a telephone call. Let me answer this telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Caller on with us live. Hold up. Let me see if my Bluetooth on. Oh Lord, I ain't got my Bluetooth on. Jesus. Hold on. Don't fight me. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. I hear you talking, but I ain't hear you on. So let me just put you on here. Make sure you're good. Okay, let's try it. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Moving.
Go ahead.
As I was calling you when you was leaving God, you said you was going away for a month.
Yeah, I going away for a month. This is the longest month you ever seen in your life.
I'm listening now. I heard Lady Gabby on. I said, when I was coming back.
No, Howard ain't coming back. Howard ain't coming back to that. But I got my own things. Look, you can see me here. You can't see me here. You can't see me? No, I ain't on ZNS.
There you is.
I on my own platform on the internet. You go on YouTube, you go on Facebook, you could see me. I on right now. Okay. As you on the show right now, actually.
Will I just look for Albert Grant?
No, type in the Foundation 242 and it'll pop right up.
Oh, at least you keep your name.
Yeah, the Foundation 242 on Facebook, it'll pop right up.
Okay.
All right, good talking.
All right,
my brother. All right. Yeah. The fella say, you say you're going away for a month. This is almost like the song will never end. I ain't getting. This is the month that'll never end. No, we ain't getting back there. We ain't getting back. And it's okay. It's okay. I think we have learned our lesson as it relates to what we were supposed to learn in that space, and now we're being able to move forward. But let's talk, man. I don't understand what's going on with Sylvanus Petty. It's a peculiar thing from a political standpoint when persons be able to. You can't show yourself iffy. You can't show yourself not being able to be sound in your position. You should also always show yourself focused, fortified, and determined to be able to kind of make this kind of a posture. Now, let's my producer telling me this is the camera to look at, right? Forgive me, right? So he telling me this is the camera to look at. So, we would have seen Von Miller in his particular capacity is in Golden Isles, the constituency of Golden Isles. And as a result of that, he told me look into the camera. I don't understand why he keep fighting me, right? As a result of Von Miller in his particular capacity being able to kind of pull back and take on this kind of a position to say that he's not running. That's not necessarily the case. That wasn't the case the entire time. Let's talk now. Let's talk. With decency and with order, let's talk. Mid to late 2023, either that or the beginning of 2024, somewhere around then. somewhere around there, or I could be a year late. I would have gotten a call from Bimini. And in the call that I got from Bimini, they indicated to me that the PLP is having a conclave in Bimini, and a lot of members of parliament are there, and some cabinet ministers are there. Now, the information that I received was that as a result of this conclave, there are letters given out, and the party is asking some people to step back. Now, I can't believe all these things, man. I can't believe. How the hell you know what in people letter? How you know? Did they give you a letter too? How you know? How would I know? I know Howard. How you know? How you know? Who tell you that this is what they're talking about? Anyway, so the letter says, the call says, Howard, they're in a situation, they're having a conversation right now. These are some of the members, and they started calling some names who's in the meeting. And so I deduced, even prior to this conversation, that there would be 10 members of parliament that the PLP had to rid themselves of in preparation to be able to step over to the new for their new day. For this concept and idea for them to be able to find victory come the next general election 2025, because this was conversation that we may go into an early election, right? 2025, 2026, right? And so they started having this conversation. They said, this is what's happening. This is what's going to go on, and all these things. And so in the midst of that, they said to me, Vaughn Miller's on the list. Or Vaughn Miller has received a letter. I always kept that kind of an information. I never said to him that I knew this. I never said to him that this is the information that I've received. He and I speak every so often. He's a good friend. I don't have a problem with him, and we speak candidly. And I always encourage him in this particular capacity, and try to figure out the best steps for him to be able to take, or the best steps to take from a national perspective, given his position. And throughout those conversations, there's always been sort of a weaning. Well, Howard, I don't know, but you don't know these people. This kind of a conversation that he and I would have. I don't know, boy, Howard, you don't know these people. I don't know whether or not I can give it again. This is what he said. Now, keep in mind, I really didn't have, in the back of my head, I really didn't know. The fellas tell me you got a letter. But I never say that. I just keep it. What people say, keep it to your chest. You got to keep some things to your chest. So I keep it to my chest. I never say anything, right? And so just talking with him, right? Just casual conversations. And the most recent conversation I would have had with him, and maybe about 3 weeks ago, and I said to him, why don't you do something in the newspaper, right? He says, do something in the newspaper? What do you mean do something in the newspaper? I said, I don't know. I mean, you running again? Right? This is me. You got to watch me sometimes. This is me. So I said, you running again? And just put some advertisements in the newspaper, say you're running again, and I'm to the constituents of Golden Isles and all these things. This is what I talking to him. He said, you want me to put that in the paper? I said, what do you mean? You understand what marketing is? You know what it is. So he said, boy, Howard, I can tell you the truth. I don't know if I run it. I didn't talk to the PM. I didn't talk to the chief. I didn't tell him, I don't know. So this was before everything came to the surface to say that he wasn't running. And then with formality, we saw, I think there was the Tribune put out there, that he wasn't running. And so now he's solidified in his position, but it didn't start off like that. It started off just like how Patricia DeVoe has taken on a capacity in Bamboo Town. It's never with an assured position, I'm not running anymore. Sylvanus didn't do it right. He's a novice, he's new to this. And given the fact that he's new to this and new to these particular spaces, dial 827-0111. If you want to be able to call live on air, you could dial 827-0111. You call it the wrong number, right? So I believe his brand new position and the weight of that position, the stress associated with it, people tell you you're lousy, you ain't good, you can get beat, right? Or they can cut you behind, bam, bam, bam. These things just come to you, especially from these people who oppose you. So as a result of that, I believe that Sylvanus Petty has taken on the wrong position way too early. Now, Basil McIntosh, first-time newcomer also to the House of Assembly, as a member of Parliament for Michael, has taken on a position, and I don't know what is the reason he made, but I believe, based upon the information that's coming to me, it had more to do with his family and his health, right? I don't know if that's mental, physical, otherwise, but he made that decision. It was a strong decision, right? So we understood his decision, right? We haven't heard anything from Adrian Gibson in Long Island. I can write these things down so we can talk. We haven't heard anything from Adrian Gibson in Long Island. We haven't heard anything from Kirk Cornish in North Abaco, right? I suppose Kwesi Thompson's going to be going back again in East Grand Bahama, right? I suppose Lundy's going to be going back again in South. I'm sorry, Leroy Major. I'm sorry, Lundy. In South Andros, I suppose he's going to be going back again, right? It looks like you get kind of good support from the Prime Minister. The Office of the Prime Minister supports him well. So I believe that he's going to be going back again. I don't know, and we haven't heard from an official standpoint about Leroy Major. Now, what we've heard is that he's not going to be running again. This is what we've heard. Every time I see him, he called me the other day, Leroy, I can talk your business. Just a little taste, right? Leroy calls me the other day and he says, Howard, what happened, man? I'm looking for you on Guardian. I can't hear you on Guardian. I said, yeah, I ain't on Guardian no more. Oh, God, man, Howard, what happened? I said, you ain't but me. What about you? I hear you ain't running no more. Oh, yeah, Howard, we can talk about that later. I got to go. Don't worry about me. I straight. Don't worry. Ain't nobody got to vote for me to be here. I can show up. Ain't worry about me. I straight. Praise God, right? So I called him. And then I saw him. And I said, Leroy, when you come on? He said, soon as I set up everything, you'll be the first stop I make. So I said, Leroy, let's have a very clear conversation to find out exactly what's what. So he said, okay, Howard, no problem. And I've been waiting on Leroy to be able to tell me what's happening. Now, we've heard the murmurs, we've heard the rumors, we've heard, and if you haven't, then obviously you're not in political circles. But we've heard enough murmurs and rumors to indicate that there may not, the people of Southern Shores don't necessarily have the best of things to say about the current member of Parliament. Now, I don't know if that's a far and wide sentiment that the thread runs throughout the entire length and breadth of the constituency of Southern Shores. I don't know. But I know the loud ones, the boisterous ones, the vocal ones, the ones that come to the forefront, they have taken on this position and they've indicated that, okay, we don't want nothing to do with him. Okay? So I want to hear from Leroy Major. I'd like to hear from the Speaker. I'd like to hear from her. And I don't know, I want to talk about her also, or rather talk to her about this kind of a posture. I don't know whether or not this is the time and the age that we live in, where there's an expectations for people to kind of genuflect to your position, right? I don't know. I just don't know. She's taken on this kind of position and indicated that, you know, the issue is our authoritative position and men running these establishments and organizations. This existed prior to you being here. This existed prior to you being here. All of this existed prior to you being here. So to come in and have this kind of a posture and mindset that says that we don't have much autonomy, we don't have any say, we don't have any space, we have to have this. No one's going to give anyone this. And I think we have to do away with this mindset. No one's going to do anything as it relates to being able to give anyone the upper hand and an advantage to be in these positions. No one's going to do that. Man, woman, boy, or girl, no one's going to do that. In the event that they bend the rules a little bit to ensure that they accommodate the women, you will always be under their thumb. That ain't what you want. You won't win, hands down. You won't win. You won't be the clear winner. You don't want nobody to give you nothing. If they give you something, you will always be indebted to them. Don't let nobody give you nothing in politics. Because many times that kind of acquiescence, that genuflection to these particular persons places you in a position where all people will say, your mouth is write a check that you're behind can't cash. You can't. You will forever be indebted. You will be an indentured servant to these particular persons. Don't let nobody give you nothing. Fight for that thing. If you don't win it, then praise God. If you win it, then praise God. But not to be able to get somebody to give you. No, man. No. No. I just want to be very clear with you as I say this. And we have this kind of a clear conversation. Okay? If women are coming into politics with this idea that men have to be able to create an environment to ensure like a little step ladder to give you to step up, that's not going to happen. You don't want that to happen. Show your strength. Show your position, show your power, show your insight, show your innovation, show your creativity, show your ability to be able to cause communities to come together. Show your resilience. Show. Work. And they always tell me that Patricia DeVoe was a worker in the constituency of Bamboo Town. Some persons are telling me about the possibility of being able to see. It's a text that's coming through. It says, Kwesi was nominated by the Free National Movement in its first trench. Kwesi was nominated by the Free National Movement in its first. Okay, I accept what you're saying. That's C. Allen, right? But I don't know. I mean, listen, man. I never had a problem with Kwesi. I just don't believe that he was a good member of parliament. No, not in Pine Ridge. Yeah, and he 100% he beat out C.A. Smith. C.A. Smith started crying. Boy, he one piece of crying. Oh God, he cried. He cried. And 100% he was beat out by Kwesi. Because of Kwesi's youth, I wanted something from him. I thought I saw something in him. But his tenure in politics showed me that he would relentlessly genuflect to leadership and never being able to step outside of that realm to tap into creativity and do something outside of that. That's what I saw from him. That he is a company man, an organization man. Always ensuring that we create an environment that the organization is first and the constituency finds its way on this list some way or another. That's what I saw from him in Pine Ridge. But then when we went to East Grand Bahama, you can't see that because East Grand Bahamians, for the most part, they vote PLP. For the most part. They vote FNM for the most part. We would have seen the PLP win under Pleasant Bridgewater at one point. And which is a wonderful thing for them. And I think Pleasant did well in that particular capacity. But this is right after Kenneth Russell. And Kenneth was in he was in no member of parliament. He just was available and relentlessly acquiesced to the leadership of the Free National Movement, which was at the time Hubert Ingram. That was it. It's unfortunate that we have to keep on talking like this, but that was it. When you look at Nico Grant in Lucaya, Nico Grant, he had some teeth, some bark, and his tenure could be able to identify that he has relentlessly been able to assist year after year with that constituency. He music classes, he buy instruments, he did this, he did that. Nico Grant may not necessarily be the most articulate, insightful, creative, verbal candidate in the Free National Movement. But he knows how to navigate between company man and community man. He does a good kind of a balancing act with that. And I think that's what makes a good member of parliament. Yeah. There's some things that I've identified that he's done. I think he could have done better. But for the most part, he was able to balance. And so I can't take it away from him. Not because he's my cousin or I know him or no. Either he's good or he ain't no good. And that's just what it is. So this is going to be an interesting election, guys. Come on, talk to me about some seats. This is kind of a conversation that's happening on a relentless basis about the possibility of being able to see 2 seats open up, one in West Grand Bahama. I'm sorry, in Bimini and Berry Islands. And then the other is in Clifton. And there are conversations about who's going to have what. And I feel like in the Free National Movement, there is some members of parliament who have tenure and their position established right now that may be getting the short end of the stick. When we come back, I want to talk about some things. Severe weather rocks New Providence and left in limbo. My boy's death. This is sort of the year after the Christie boys. Let's talk about those things. That tornado, which was crazy. It felt like a little hurricane. Have you ever been in a hurricane on, was that Saturday night, Friday night? It was crazy. Let's get back to it. We can take this quick commercial break, guys, and get right back after this. macaroni and cheese. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're good. We're jamming out there, being able to jam with you, have a good conversation. If you want to be able to if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can do so. You can hit me up on social media, so I can be able to see your stuff on, because I got my little thing right here. I could see you on YouTube, and I could see you on Facebook. So if you want to be able to hit me with one of those things in terms of a comment, I can be able to read that for you right here. And also, you can hit me up on the phone thing, right? 827-0111, 827-0111. You can text me and be able to read that stuff and have a clear conversation. Man, this weekend was crazy. If you look in the front of the Tribune this weekend, home with a portion of the roof damaged. Isn't that crazy? Listen to me. Listen to me. I was helping my son with some of his homework. He didn't feel well. You know, they gone to school. All some of it was fine. And then, you know, once he's sharing somebody drink or getting too close to little children, you're bringing germs home. Listen, little children is the nastiest. Oh, God. Anyway, praise God for the little children. We love them. We love them. But they're nasty. Let's just be very clear. And we used to be nasty, too. Let's just be very clear. So, I laugh, right? My son came home with the little sniffles. And, you know, the schooling can have you in there if your nose is running and so forth and so on. So he didn't go to school for the week. So now he gets homework piled up in preparation to go to school on Monday. Okay, no problem. So now we here, right? And we jamming. And, you know, I helped him with his homework and everything like that. And he want to watch some SpongeBob, or he want to watch something else when he's done. And the current goes off. Pop. But as the current goes off, I always see lightning. Boom, 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 lightning, right? So I was like, this is peculiar, right? I mean, just lightning, right? Like the literature say, it was lightning in, right? It was lightning in, straight through. I've been looking at this and I said, this reminds me of the hurricane, except when the atmospheric pressure was low, you could see different colors in the sky, right? But the same consistency in lightning, right? And it was lit up. Boom, boom. Keep hitting. And shout out to BPL. They was able to restore the power in my area real quick. I don't know about where you live, but in my area, it was restored real quick. And I thought that was that. Until I wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning to a couple texts. And I said, text? 4 o'clock in the morning? What the hell did text me? My good friend hit me up, right? And he sent me like a collage, a package of videos, maybe 4 or 5 videos. And he showed me the devastation that existed in these areas. That blew my mind. A tornado? That was crazy to me. So, I don't know, man. We got to be able to talk about some things. We got to talk about insurance. We got to find a way to be able to get ourselves in a position where our dependency is not on the government and our dependency is not on these particular entities. We need to be able to get ourselves in a better position. All this is finding a way out of this for ourselves. That's all this is. All this is being able to release ourselves from the relentless dependency that we have on governments and our survival. This house is damaged. I came up with the concept of that, you know. You all didn't hear that. These are the type of people, these are the type of things that it's caused you to get, you know, people just come looking for you and try to kidnap you. Yeah, I came up with the concept for it. Yeah, you're not unfamiliar with it. First and foremost, you know about ASU, one. And secondly, y'all just pay Netflix every month, even when y'all don't watch the TV. $60 million from the Bahamas goes to Netflix monthly. Did you know that? Did you know that? $60 million. And I think there's like $16 a person. $60 million. Oh man, that's a lot of money. This is what we pay for entertainment. You don't think an insurance company would love that? A month? If you give an insurance company $30 million a month, consistently, They will insure everybody in this Bahama land. Everybody. They will be the first one in the church which you praying that the hurricane no hit so they can keep their money. $30 million a month if we pay them. You can find out, man. We can do this. Let's talk, guys. 3236232. That's the wrong number. 8270111. Hit me up. 8270111. I tell you, you got to wean it out of my system. Let's be able to get it. I got a couple texts here I want to be able to read. That's the wrong number. 8270111. Hit me up. 8270111. I tell you, you got to wean it out of my system. Let's be able to get it. So I can tell you guys. Somebody called and texted and tell me about Quasi just now. So I'm going to be able to read that to you and tell you exactly what's what. So it says Quasi comes off as a go with the flow kind of guy. He is where you put me. No real direction. This is him. This is the F&M has many lackluster people. I think the F&M got some good people. I think the F&M got some good people. I'm looking at some candidates, and I think some of them need some polishing and some pruning and preparation to move into real leadership. But I think that the F&M has some good candidates. I am more impressed with the second dispensation, which was the 7, than the 17. I'm more impressed with the 7 than the 17. I'm impressed with Lincoln Deal. I think he is going to go far in that particular capacity, right? And hold up. There's a telephone call coming through. Call back. I didn't see it. Call back. I didn't see it. Right? I'm impressed with him, though. I think Lincoln Deal is going to go far. He's going to do well in his particular capacity, right? Thanks so much for calling the foundation, Howard.
Hey, good afternoon. What are you doing?
What's happening, man? All is well?
Right here.
What's up, Anton? Turn him up for me a little, please. Go ahead, Anton.
I know. I said I'm right here tuning into the Foundation Nation.
I appreciate you, man, Anton. What's up?
Funny thing about it, Howard. Let me add this comment in before I even say anything, because I meant to say it several shows back. Ever since you had that experience at Guardian, right? And I still tune in the Guardian. Don't get me wrong, right? Because I do believe that Guardian still has a quality offering, and they still have a lot to offer to the nation. However, ever since your situation and separation with the Guardian, I find myself between the hours of 12 to 2 still listening to the Foundation Nation.
I appreciate you, man, Anton. I appreciate you, Anton.
And so, Howard.
Yeah, go ahead. I read you.
You have pulled me away from the Guardian between 12 and 2 p.m. So God bless you, my brother.
I appreciate you.
Look here, as it relates to the insurance industry in the country,
yeah,
the receipts from the insurance industry, Howard, value to more than what you were saying. When you were saying a couple moments back, if Bahamians would give the insurance industry, I think $30 million a month, you were saying, which would amount to approximately or specifically $360 million per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
The receipts on the residential and the commercial side amount to more than that. Howard, the insurance industry in the Bahamas is a $1 billion industry.
But let's talk about this, Anton.
Billion.
Let's talk about this.
Huh?
Let's talk about this.
$1 billion industry.
If we could define...
Bahamians are paying annually to support the insurance industry directly in the Bahamas. And I learned that recently at an event that I was covering when the commissioner of the insurance industry, Dana Munnings, I can't remember her last name, she's married now, was speaking at the podium along with Senator and Minister of Economic Affairs, Michael Alkitis, who has responsibility and carriage for their industry, who I might add, each one of the speakers said very proudly they look forward to the Honorable Michael Alcides continuing to represent their industry as well as the key person in finance for decades to come. So that spoke a lot about credibility for Michael Alcides. And so I just thought
he's always presented himself a professional. He's always been
absolutely.
He's always presented himself a professional.
So I thought it was important to put that.
I only hear good things about him in these particular things. Mike, give me a call, man. Praise God. Now listen to me.
Yes.
Let's have this conversation now. 36.
The insurance industry is massive in this country. However, at the same time, Howard, the insurance industry is very expensive in this country, and the government is trying to find inroads to make insurance more accessible to all Bahamians, because it is indeed very expensive, Howard. No question about it.
But let's talk about this now.
On the health side of things, medical side of things, and on the life and the property protection side of things, property and equipment and liability and professional indemnity and all these various types of insurances.
Yeah.
Howard, they are very expensive.
Let's talk about something, Anton. Hold on, Anton. Before you go forward, let's talk about something. $360 million, right? That's over $250 million annually, right? That's over $250 million. That's nearly that's nearly $500 million annually.
Moving towards that direction, okay? Yes.
Now, in the region, there's 46 million people in this region. Okay? I'm talking about the Caribbean region. There are entities that can be able to insure you here or elsewhere in the world that you can be able to pitch an idea for. And you could start off as an elevator, say we can pay you $250 million a year to do this, this, and this. And then you identify some packages that they can do. And then you say, okay, we're also going to be able to do something from an external standpoint, and we'll grow it annually once you could be able to remain consistent with us. If constituencies, communities, if the collective can come together and make this decision, similar to how Colina does with the government, right? So everyone has access to something, right? So if you're from the constituency of 8 Mile Rock and you show this particular card because of our relationship, because everybody's paying into something, right? Everybody's paying into something. And I could be able to pay my copay and all these things, or have access to surgery in the United States of America or throughout the region, wherever it is, we can get superb health care if we decide to collaborate.
Well, Howard, that's what you are talking about now is what the government, going back to the Christie administration, who introduced NHI in the country, has already been seeking to do on behalf of Bahamians, right down to the Davis administration in particular, who's strengthening what currently exists with preventative care in national health insurance, but also seeking to deepen the access to insurance by trying now to provide the critical care component of insurance, which is where the real money is being spent right now in this country. But we still need that preventative care, because without that preventative care, we would have a greater need for the critical care. Because if you can catch an oncoming cancer before it actually gets to the mature stage, you can prevent it becoming terminal, right? And so the government of the Bahamas is already doing that, but it's going to be more difficult for individuals to seek to do that as a collective, because there are so many factors that go into what insurance you can get and what is being offered by that insurance company, and then of course ultimately the premium that you can get. You may stand a better chance with this collaboration on the health side of pursuing a group approach.
We got to figure it out though. We could figure it out. We don't have to start off. We don't have to. Okay, so I came up with this kind of a concept and idea. Members of Parliament, they got to really start thinking, man. People who have a desire to be able to be a member of Parliament, those persons who are members of Parliament, you got to think, man, especially if you know your demographic.
Outside the box, definitely.
They got to think, man. Their relationships. Okay, so people are astonished, right? I don't know why. Like, we live on this one little small space. And if you got access to them, I could get access to these people. I just have to know how to pitch them. And if they're interested, they can bite. If they don't bite, then they don't bite. That's okay. But that ain't gonna stop me from pushing. Members of parliament keep waiting on central government to be able to come up with a concept to help their people. How you can ever get reelected? How you can get reelected? If you don't be able to show yourself capable outside of the power and the strength of government. How?
You know, Howard, this brings me to what just happened here recently over the weekend, right? With this whirlwind activity that took place in the Eastern District, in particular in my minister's constituency of the Elizabeth constituency, which encompasses a wide area, not just the Elizabeth estates, right? Goes as far as what's that gated community name next to Solomon's? It's the name slips my mind right now. Pretty much opposite
Old Fort?
Eastern Estates. Pardon me?
Where you is? In East? You in the East?
On Yamacraw Road. Off Yamacraw.
Oh, Jesus.
After Solomon's. It's a smaller gated community.
I know. I just was there the other day, and I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember the name right now. But nonetheless, and go down to Hannah Road, down all the way in the back there.
Yeah.
Go up a greater portion of Joe Farrington Road, come up onto Prince Charles. And so the constituency is broad and it's wide. And I was proud to see, as a matter of fact, I was covering an assignment and when I got the news. And I was proud to see that the member of parliament who's working very hard, who's been working very hard.
Zane Labour.
Not just over the last 4 years, Howard, I must add, right? She's been working hard before she even got the nomination in the constituency, right? Doing things, providing help, bringing support, not just talk, bringing support, changing people's lives, impacting their lives directly and personally, where people can take an account on their ROI, their return on investment, as a direct consequence and result of having the Honorable Member Jobette Colby Davis as their Member of Parliament, as their Minister in the Cabinet.
Hold on, I thought you were describing, where you was describing that in Yamacraw?
Pardon me?
Where you described just now, that in Yamacraw, that's still Elizabeth?
That's still Elizabeth, Howard.
Wow.
Elizabeth spans broad and wide.
Wow.
Howard. And I was, as I was saying, I was proud to see the Honorable Jobette Colby Davis on the ground with Team Elizabeth, bringing help and hope in a real way, touching people, going through the homes and assessing the needs, so that real plans, not talk, Howard.
She did well.
Real plans and action could be taken to help people restore their lives.
I mean, beyond what you're saying, Anton, because that's some intimate information that only the people from either on her team or in Elizabeth would know. All we see is the perception. All we see is the idea of mobility. So we can respond to and actually give a like to the fact that she is on the ground. We see Leslie on the ground. This is excellent stuff. When there is a disaster.
Her sister from the neighboring community, as you just pointed out, Her Excellency Leslie Miller Bryce joined in with her sister, the Honorable Jobette Colby Davis, to bring help and hope, to inspire hope, Howard, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Inspiring hope in our Bahamian people, helping them to understand they're not in the fight and in the battle of their lives alone, in seeking to restore their homes. Because, Howard, believe it or not, Howard, help and hope is also needed in middle-class communities.
Of course.
Help and hope is also needed in upper middle-class communities, not just in inner cities, Howard.
Of course.
People have suffered a devastating blow through the COVID-19 and the mismanagement, more particularly, the mismanagement of COVID-19 by the previous Prime Minister and his cabinet, many of which are on the lines now trying to ask Bahamian people to give them another shot to mess up our lives again. But that ain't gonna happen. No way, Jose. That will not happen, Howard. Howard, I want to encourage you to continue the good works. I want to encourage the members of parliament throughout the country, the Honorable Minister Jobert Kobe Davis's cabinet colleagues at the table, to bring that help and hope and support that she will need to help persons to rebuild their lives who was impacted by that whirlwind over the weekend. Howard, continue the great works, my brother.
Thank you, man.
I want to encourage you. God's continued blessings over you and your family.
I appreciate you, Anton.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you in that next place. Soon, directly.
Anton.
Sooner than later.
Anton.
Blessings, my brother.
Anton. Thank you, eh?
Hey, you're welcome.
You're doing too much, okay? Bye.
You're welcome.
See you later, Anton. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there is something afoot, I guess. We're working on some things to be able to get ourselves to expand our territory and all the things that we're doing. Yeah, but I got to say, I don't know what we only could see what she's doing in terms of being able to show up. But most of the time, support comes by people that got to see you. People got to see you in the constituency. Yeah. People got to see you out there. People got to see that you're concerned. People got to see that you're working. I want to be able to shout out Dr. Fox and his. Listen, I have thoroughly. You have no idea. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching those clips with Dr. Fox, and then when he says after school, come and get a little hot dog. Come get a little hot dog, right? I have thoroughly enjoyed that. And then the back and forth between him and the current member of parliament, Fred Mitchell. And he says, you watch what you're eating. Well, I'm a physician. And oh, God, I laughed so much. I said, this is going to be a cat fight. It's going to be row when it comes to those members of parliament. And then you see in the news crew went around and asked him questions. Man, he can't be Dread Fred. He can't be Dread Fred. I didn't know they called him Dread Fred, right? He can't be Dread Fred. Listen, politics in this country is an amazing thing, right? It may seem divisive. Well, it is divisive. It may seem, lowbrow, but, you get to have a greater sense of appreciation based upon the culture. And this is an exciting thing. I want to hear more from you, members of parliament, and being able to come out, especially you new candidates. New candidates, man, you can come. I see some calls coming through. People won't casually hail me. Hey, Howard, what's up, man? How you doing, man? How your family, man? You okay? Listen, stop it. My family is fine. You want something? Let me send you an invoice. We could be able to do it like that. But come and talk to me, man. Come and talk to me, and let's have a very clear conversation. You're going to be in a comfortable, cool environment that we can be able to have a good conversation about the potential that you have and being able to apply that potential into the kinetic energy the constituency needs. And why do you think that you are a better person for that particular constituency at this time in comparison to the person that sits there? Yeah. So a lot of the Free National Movement members, if you're waiting on the weight of the machine to be able to carry you through, you're going to have... you're going to be behind the 8-ball. Yeah, you're going to be behind the 8-ball because the machinery doesn't kick up and turn on until a certain time. Now, you may not necessarily have these funds. You may not necessarily have the cash. And that's why you got to consider whether or not you should get into politics with no cash. You got to figure out a way. You got to find somebody who supports you and who can bankroll you to get out there and get your message out. I'm seeing some people come across with the Free National Movement. Like I said, I see Dr. Fox. Dr. Fox taking on this. He's celebrating. And those small things, I like his approach. And even with his approach, local media is going after him and talking about him and finding out these things. And the way that Fred Mitchell is set up in the combative nature that he is, he's given him this man more exposure than anything. Let him say on TikTok there's X amount of followers, there's a couple hundred followers. Let him say that. As soon as you say it nationally, everybody will know. You're giving this man, and I don't know whether you know that, you're giving him exposure. Every time you put a national position out as the chairman and the member of parliament for Fox Hill, what exposure he would have gotten to 6 people, to 7 people, to 15 people, to 120 people, you have amplified that by tens of thousands every single time. And maybe you don't know that. Maybe this kind of a position that you're in, that you're just being able to kind of go after him because this is what you do. You're giving him exposure. And we are loving this thing, because I love how Dr. Fox is be able to respond. It isn't as bad as he say it is, right? Jesus! I enjoy this thing. I enjoyed it because this is politics. This is politics in this country. And we're looking for those particular things. But Dr. Fox is doing well. Whether he's giving a cake to a 95-year-old man, whether or not he's offering you a hot dog or little chips just to be able to put something in your stomach till after school, or whether or not he decides that he wants to do free health screening. If you want to do health, I don't know. This may be an idea I throw out at it. I don't know, right? These are things that you can offer in the community and the constituencies looking at. Yeah, man. These are things that you can offer, right? So get on your game, right? You can't just go from one radio station to another and then try to put an article in the paper. You got to work your guts out or you're going to lose. The Progressive Liberal Party is going to ensure that everyone on their slate has a fighting chance to win. They will. The Progressive Liberal Party will ensure that everyone on their slate who is ratified will have a fighting chance to win in the next general election. The Progressive Liberal Party has already identified certain persons, even if they have not articulated that. We're seeing persons come out and say, I don't know whether or not I'm going to run next time. And this isn't because of them, for the most part. This is because the party needs someone else in this space. There were some constituencies we looked at. I keep telling you, let's go back to that. There's some constituencies we look at for the PLP. I can tell you what the constituencies are right now. I didn't tell you in the other place, but I can tell you what the constituencies are right now. Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. Says the FNM don't want to get their supporters involved financially in their election process. That's no for both parties. Okay, I'm not going to fight them. Right? It says if the FNM start campaigning from May 2024 to now, they would have invested over $63 million in constituency developments and upgrades, because if they can collect $150 from 25,000 FNM's supporters, who will volunteer to give, they can allot it in the constituencies. They try to win. All they want to do is win people votes. Is promising people things. When they are elected, they don't want to go anything. I don't know what you're saying at the end there. But anyway, we get an idea of what you're saying. You can see it online, guys. It's on Facebook. You can be able to see that. All these things are there. And being able to do this, right? The FNM, the PLP needs to see when it comes to election campaign funding. The Free National Movement, the PLP, can collect $450 million every 5 years from their 50,000 supporters combined, right? That's not going to happen. They have not conditioned us to understand that empowerment is in finances, and that every little that you have is towards a link for the promise of your organization. That's not going to do that. If organizations had make you to understand financial power, then the organizations, for the most part, wouldn't even exist. If they made you to understand the strength that you had financially and being able to clasp hands, listen to me. The strength that we have in ASU is an amazing strength. ASU start more people and build more people house in this country than you won't imagine, when they couldn't get a loan from the bank. The strength we have as a people is stronger than the strength that we can get from an external entity, organization, individual, anything. Once we understand and we get rid of this sort of a hate and this idea that, well, who he think he is? He won't be the boss over me. But if he doing it, I could do it. It's a silly thing. It's a silly thing. And this is where we are. So let's talk about this, guys. I want to be able to put these things down. All right, so North Abaco. North Abaco was one of the constituencies that I believe that they had to look at to make a determination as to whether or not they're going to be able to move forward. The next constituency, North Eleuthera. Now, this is before some people start to say anything. Next constituency, Michael. Next constituency would have been Pine Ridge. It's in Grand Bahama. Next constituency for them to be able to look at, for me, would have been Golden Isles. Next constituency, Southern Shores. One of the constituencies I thought, not necessarily because of the member, we can break this down, not necessarily because of the member of parliament, but because of the shifting from each political, dispensation of election campaigns, election years, Pinewood. All right. Next constituency that the PLP had to look at to make a determination as to whether or not it's going to be able to move forward. Southern Shores. I'm sorry, South Beach. Yeah, right? Next constituency, Bamboo Town. How much we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there was one more constituency. In Nassau that we thought, thing was never on the list because we didn't know that he was going to step back. Fort Charlotte. Fort Charlotte was never on the list. He's on the list now. He stepped back. He's taking this kind of his leave. But there was another constituency that we looked at. When I remember, I can put it on there, right? So there's North Abaco, North Eleuthera, Michael, Pine Ridge, Golden Isles, Southern Shores, Pinewood, South Beach, and Bamboo Town. I think a lot of persons are saying to me how it's South Beach may be a constituency that's turning it around and things are happening. I haven't heard much about Pinewood, but Pinewood could find himself back in the House of Assembly by default once there is a significant contention outside of him. All right. And Pine Ridge in Grand Bahama, which was my very good friend, Ginger Moxie, who, occasionally cuss me every so often. Praise God. I'm not going to fight her, right? Pine Ridge in Grand Bahama was one of those constituencies that I thought that needed some help. But the contention that exists in these particular seats, she may be able to see herself back in the House of Assembly again. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we can break these particular things down, talk about it, and talk about the strength and possibility of being able to see the PLP or the FNM or the COI and the possibility of another organization being able to get developed. Let me say, Howard, don't talk it. Something about to happen by the end of this month. Don't talk it. And you shouldn't tell me when we talk it. But I can talk it. I can be decent. Let's take a break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Dig up, everywhere they digging, morning, noon and evening. The road them dig up, on the road them dig up. Got to go north to go south, got to go east to get to west. It's like you're driving in a mist. The traffic block right up for days. The businessman catching hell, he's frustrated, can't you tell? So hard for him to make a dime, so hard to get to work on time. The road them dig up, on the road them dig up.
digging one time. Man, it take me half hour to get from Malcolm Road to Robinson Road. Man, the road them dig up, they need to change that, you know what I mean? Work day and night. If you can do this, do it quick, man. Get it out the way.
Got to pass my house to get home. Weaving through the orange cones. A detour sign here and there. Road closed sign everywhere. So many potholes to dock. Man, my car need no shock. They say it's all for the good, but not right now in my neighborhood. The road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. Everywhere they dig in. Morning, noon and evening. The road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. They say when it's over, things will be better. The road smoother, no more rusty water. But until that day, it is my duty to record Bohemian history. Right now, the road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. Everywhere they dig in. Morning, noon and evening. The road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. The road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. Everywhere they dig in. Morning, noon and evening. The road all dig up, dig up.
Man, I so tired of going cycle to cycle from corner to corner for hours and hours. It seems like nowhere else. Mister, which way I supposed to go? Cause I don't know where in the world I am.
So many diversions causing frustration. The road them dig up, dig up. All the road them dig up, dig up. The road them dig up, dig up. The road them dig up, dig up. So many diversions causing frustration. The road them dig up, dig up. Marathon, dig up, dig up. Market where they digging. East West Highway, Abundant Life Road, dig up, dig up. On the road them dig up, dig up. It's everywhere they digging. Everywhere. Morning, noon and evening. When you're the finish man, dig up, dig up. On the road all dig up, dig up. The road all dig up, dig up, dig up, dig up, dig up, dig up. The way they digging. Morning, noon and evening. The road all dig up, dig up. The road all dig up, dig up.
The love is still strong for all those who have passed on. Yeah.
Man has cooked and man has want. Man has spoken and man has chant. Fighting for what is their treasure.
Fighting for what's
in
right.
measure.
Back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Grateful to be able to be here with you with jamming the way that we are, just being able to talk about these things. I'm going to break down some things now. Now, we talked about some stuff. We said that the PLP needed to get rid of 10 constituencies. And it ain't got nothing to do with the individuals for the most part. Maybe it may be some non-performing individuals in certain areas, but there is a variation of issues. Now, Anton has gone into depth and detail to talk about the resurgence and the re-election of North Abaco, which is Kirk Cornish, and how he is going to be returned in this particular capacity. And I tend to agree with Anton, not for the purposes of what Anton wants to say, but for the mechanics of the maths that exist in this constituency. With Kai Mills that exist here and the Free National Movement's Boodle, I don't remember your first name, please forgive me, right? With the Free National Movement's Boodle that exists in this particular constituency, Kai Mills and Boodle will be duking it out unless there's a significant supersession, right? Unless there's this sort of a wave that exists there, and there's a wave that exists within the country that'll take the Free National Movement to victory, Kai Mills is going to take 500 to 700 votes from you. He will. And as soon as he takes those particular votes, we talked about this Kirk Cornish will get sympathy votes. What's wrong with that man? A woman shouldn't do that. Yeah. And if he's smart, subtly, he'll take on that kind of approach. Well, please forgive me. I was not able to show up the way that I did because of these false accusations against me. But I've always had a heart for the constituency, a heart for the community. And if you give me an opportunity, I can be able to show you, boom, he could win these. He could win that. He could win that. That's Kirk Cornish in North Abaco. He on this list because we wasn't certain as to whether this is before any verdict came down. And the optics of the matter didn't look good. Okay? The optics didn't look good, but he held on for vindication, and he got that. In the midst of vindication of him being able to do that, he found himself liberated from this particular split. Now he could win. That's Kirk Cornish. That's just the fluid nature of politics in this country. It has happened like this. You have to know how to be able to ride the wave. It ain't necessarily only have to be with Brave. I'm just talking about riding that wave of fluidity that exists in our politics. Hold on. Because if you deplane, if you jump off the boat, disembark, if you find yourself out of there, you're going to lose. When victory was yours. North Eleuthera. We didn't hear much about North Eleuthera during my time when I did Dissecting Leadership, a constituency first approach. We didn't get the best of grades for North Eleuthera. And he kind of pushed and did what he had to do in this particular capacity. And we saw the resurgence very subtly of Howard Ricky Mackey in North Eleuthera, sorry. And we didn't know how he was going to do, whether or not he was responding well. I know that he had a significant relationship, and they found this kind of a brotherhood between him and one of the members of parliament in the House of Assembly, right? I won't tell you it's Kirk Cornish, but I can't, my mind, for some reason, fuzzy when I remember in the face that he had supported. I think it was Kirk Cornish, right? And he found this kind of a support, and it was good. It was good. But the truth is that he hadn't made his own impact. He didn't make a significant impact, not from a national standpoint. And as we listen to people come back from Eleuthera to tell us about these things and how things are happening, he didn't necessarily make the best impression on those persons. And then he says he's backing down. And it was like, maybe the best for him. Now you say coming back. Sir, you're confusing me. You're going, you're coming, you're going, you're coming. You're going to have to make your mind up, sir. What you can do? What you can do? I can tell you one thing. If you go for sure, it's going to be a hard road to get back. It's going to be I would rather go and get beat, and the party could say, well, you tried. We would give you a senatorial position. We give you an ambassadorial position. We give you whatever. When you go and you try. And so as soon as you could be able to keep that affiliation with the organization, you did well. But if you quit on the organization, I don't know how you can get to be prime minister. It ain't going to be true to PLP. I might tell you that. But this is what you said, right? So we're waiting to see that Michael Basel, we talked about Basel in his particular capacity. Pine Ridge, LaRota. Miles LaRota in his particular capacity as Minister of Social Services. He's over broadcasting. He's over all these particular spaces. It has nothing to do with Miles as an individual. His constituency has flip-flopped between the FNM and the PRP over the past 5 elections. From 2002. Over the past 5 elections. 2002, 2007, 2012, 2017, 2021. If I'm correct. They've flip-flopped between each other for the past 5 election cycles. And as a result of that, this is me, this is Howard. Unless I bust my behind in Pinewood, unless the people could see me creating alleviation for the drainage issue that they're having in Pinewood, unless there are bulldozers on the ground and we could be in Pinewood, I would ask the Prime Minister for another constituency. Not because I fear that they ain't gonna vote for me, but the numbers have said they ain't gonna vote for me. I ain't got to lead with my feelings and emotions. I ain't got to tell you, well, you know, Jesus Christ could do this. I ain't got to do all of that. I just looking at the numbers. The numbers said this is a seat that you could be guaranteed to lose. Now, you got Lincoln. You got, who did they put in Pinewood? They didn't put nobody in Pinewood yet. They Free National Movement. You got the COI. You got the FNM, who will battle it out significantly. Now, this isn't just a Johnny-come-lately COI person that we don't know. This isn't somebody who's trying to be able to develop themselves and develop their name. This Lincoln. Lincoln can take 700 to 900 of your votes right off the top, if he don't take the constituency. And if Lincoln gets 700 to 900 votes, those votes go against the Free National Movement. So the Free National Movement has no chance in this constituency because Lincoln has the position. And if Lincoln can capture 1,000 votes, Master Road is back in there. Master Road is back in there. Okay?
And if Lincoln
Go ahead, Anton. Go ahead, Anton. What you say?
I had to call you back.
Go
Please
ahead.
forgive me. You know, we had a conversation with reference to the Honorable Member of Parliament, Clay Sweeting, in his constituency. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And things have changed around since that
Swiftly.
conversation we had.
Swiftly.
Tens of millions of dollars have been invested
Yeah.
in infrastructure,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
To provide the people with water, airport, proper electricity, etc. Right?
Mhm.
And they are well underway. All of the works that I spoke to are well underway. The people can see the results in the ground, on the ground,
Mhm.
and therefore they have publicly stated that they are with the Honorable Member Clay Sweeting. They previously stated, if it don't get done, forget it. It's getting done. So they're happy. I see the same thing happening with Pinewood. Listen, Howard, the people of Pinewood.
That's a whole
have
different
been
kettle of fish, though.
Howard.
That's a whole different
Listen.
kettle of fish. Not that it's
Listen,
not that it's impossible. Not that it's impossible.
Right.
But
And I understand some of the challenges. Don't get me wrong.
it's a challenge. It's a significant
Listen.
challenge. It may be improbable.
Listen, no, it ain't improbable. I understand some of the challenges, Howard. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I understand them.
Okay.
I have roots in Pinewood Gardens.
Okay.
Roots.
Mhm.
Deep roots in Pinewood Gardens.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
But Howard, one of the biggest concerns beyond some of the other concerns, the singular biggest concern in Pinewood is what, Howard?
The water, the flooding.
The flooding. The flooding that impacts people's homes each and every year.
Yeah.
All of the works that former Attorney General, the Honorable Member of Parliament, former distinguished cabinet minister, current executive chair of the University of the Bahamas Board, the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson had done. All of the work she had done. Roadway signage, beautiful parks, right? Beautifying the community, keeping the community clean, clean, clean. She came in on a wave, but she was also voted on a wave.
Absolutely.
Because that one big problem still remained, Howard.
That's it.
Flooding. The government is now seeking to address that problem, Howard. Howard, me and you had this discussion on your show.
Anton,
in
is
the
it
other place.
is this the ninth hour? Can they do anything in the
Listen,
ninth
it
hour?
is the 9 hour, no question about it.
Okay.
We had that discussion too, where I said that it should have been done a long time ago.
Okay.
But listen, Howard, when we had the discussion, so I can go quickly. When we had the discussion, when you were in the other place, and I laughing because it was funny to me. The biggest concern we have with that discussion is the whopping amount of money that is going to be spent in order to address the long-standing issue, problem, the stubborn problem of flooding. There was a lady who came on, was interviewed by all of the local media, who stated how much thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars she has lost as a result of flooding.
This is a lady who called
Not
me.
leaking from a roof.
She called me
flooding.
and she said, Howard, my house has been flooded 15 times.
Yes, I remember.
She called me.
And listen, Howard, listen, she also said if they could resolve that, they got her.
Of course.
That's generally how Pinewood feels.
Of course.
That's generally, besides some of the other issues.
They're-
That's generally how
this is their
Pinewood
proverbial issue of blood. And
Yeah.
if they could touch the hem of progression and growth and that dries up,
Yes.
they got
Yes.
you got them.
And
That's
so
it.
this is the first government in decades, the only government that has seeked in a serious way, right? By putting the money where the mouth is, by putting the money in the budget to resolve that issue. Tens of millions of dollars will be spent not only to address the issue of flooding in Pinewood, but correlating communities surrounding Pinewood, like parts of South Beach, like parts of Nassau Village constituency, like parts of Seabreeze constituency. And the minister himself came behind, if you recall, in an interview by The Guardian and many other media companies throughout the country, Eyewitness News, Cable 12, etc. And he clarified that the money will not just be spent in the Pinewood constituency, but the bulk of the work to be done is in Pinewood. And that work will entail drainage, road works, and infrastructural works with water and sewage in order to fix a number of
That
issues
got to get
that are
done
plaguing
before
those
Christmas.
communities.
That got to get
Say it
done.
again, Howard?
That got to get done before Christmas, because I can tell you one thing: ain't nobody could see if the house can flood out until rain in time. So
I agree.
if you working on that, let's be clear. If you working on that with
Yes.
clarity,
Yes.
and you get it done in a dry season, nobody know if
Yes.
it working. Nobody know if it working.
Yes.
We can tell you, oh,
Yes.
woo, 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 and we happy for it. But
until the rainy season
until
comes
the
around
rainy
again.
season, the election then gone, and now we put you back in,
yes.
and then my house flood again. Oh my God, there's a problem.
No, see Howard, you're jumping the gun.
I ain't jumping the gun.
Let me
I'm
tell you
just
why.
saying.
No. You on the right track. But that last part, jump the gun, I can tell you why. What month are we in right now, Howard?
We are in September, October,
When is the
November.
election, Howard? When is the
In-
election,
it
Howard?
should be in May.
No, sir. Election was called September 16th of 2021.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is September 16th. One more year. The people will have more than enough time to see the works well underway and to experience some of the
But
benefits of the work,
hold on.
Howard.
I understood. 'Cause
We got
I could
another
be I
year.
could be wrong, because you have
We
closer.
have got another year, Howard.
Okay, no. You have closer ties than me. I understand that the PLP was supposed to go back to the traditional May 10th.
Listen, Howard. Listen, the Prime Minister is on record stating he has no intentions on calling an early election. None. He will
Okay.
serve his full term.
Okay.
And he will do the things that he promised to the Yemen people, he will do.
Okay.
He's on record of saying that, Howard.
Okay.
And I trust and believe it will get done. And when it gets done, Howard, we are going to remain.
So by the
government.
next hurricane season, this is an issue that will be far behind the people of
It will be
Pinewood.
well under the feet of the government and the people of the constituency of Pinewood, Nassau Village, South Beach, and surrounding Seabreeze,
Okay.
who experiences some of it.
All right.
That's how far the work is intended to spread and to impact.
Okay.
Howard, big things are going to be happening not only on the Family Islands, big things happening on the Family Islands. Big things happening in Kent Island, Rumkey, San Salvador. Big things happening, Michael. Big things happening, North Eleuthera, Central Eleuthera. Big things happening, Exuma. Big things happening on Grand Bahama.
Anton, you don't have to campaign today, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. All right. We can talk later. There's a text that actually came to me. Read the text, right? And the text stated that. Let me read it. So it says, Pinewood is a fair weather constituency. So I have to talk about this. It's Miles and Pinewood. So Pinewood is a bellwether seat for sure. It says, no, I lived in Pinewood during Maynard's time. And this is he talking about Allison. He says, I live in this person is talking about Allison. They say that they lived in Pinewood during Maynard's time and she did nothing. That's why they lost that seat. Miles is in Pinewood every day walking around. Which is true. I saw a lot of the stuff that he's done. And when I drive to Pinewood, I could be able to see small contingents of that, right? And a lot of the time, persons could say you would always be able to meet Miles at the headquarters right on that stretch right there, right? And this is Miles is in there all the time. If Miles wants to retain, he needs to work on the flooding or they can roll him out. And that's just what it is. There ain't no two ways about that. The biggest investment that people make that everyone knows is in their home in many instances. And because they put so much money into their home, to be able to have that thing flood 15 times a year can be one of the most depressing things. This is supposed to be the victory, right? You can imagine how people feel when they identify termites in their home. Now think of a flood. Think of all your baseboard and your sheetrock and your 2x4 and your this and your that and your petition and all these things having mold and mildew. Think about your little children that you have in there that may have bronchial issues, that may have asthma and other issues, that now dealing with spores based upon the mold that's built up in this particular thing. Think about the fear and the fret that persons have that live in this constituency every time it starts to rain, right? Oh, Lord, I hope this ain't a heavy one. Oh, Lord, I hope this is. You understand what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about the stress that it puts on people to try to figure out, how do I survive in this? What do I do to fix this? What can we do to fix this, Lord? And they still have to endure this issue. If the government of the Bahamas can make a significant indentation and significant roads into being able to relieve the issues that exist in Pinewood, Mazi got it again. I might as well tell you, Mazi got it again. Right? As the text is coming through, it says Anton can be shocked when they call election in May. LOL. Right? That's what I thought. I got information to say, yeah, how we can go back in May in the traditional time. Now, Anton have different relationship than me. I ain't inside. I don't know. You understand? It says all that is money you have to spend to repair. As the text is coming through, being able to talk about that, right? It says, somebody texts and says, good afternoon, Howard. The election is 12 months, 60 days is a Bahamian election cycle. September 16, 2021. The election was called on September 16, 2020. The election was called, so September 16, 2026 is the date for the Bahamian election. Okay. Are we going to talk about a possible fixed election date? We'll talk about that. We can talk about those particular things to have everyone prepared the way that they should be. I think Miles could get it again, though. I think Miles could be able to win it again, especially with the contention that exists in these particular areas. If he shows himself capable with the purse and the support of government on his side, yeah, man, Miles, you could get this again. You could get this again, right? All right, so that's Pinewood. You may be able to get it again. Golden Isles. Vaughn is my very good friend, man. And I won't be able to be very clear with you and frank with you. Vaughn is my very good friend. And I've always kind of stepped back as it relates to criticism for Vaughn Miller, right? Because, a lot of persons could observe and criticize. But because there's a relationship that exists there, I observe and just state the obvious or state the observation. But I never criticize. But I have to say to you that over the course of 2 election cycles, being able to win in on a wave for the Free National Movement, because he was ratified, I don't know, must be 3 weeks before the election, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? It was a short period before election. He got in. Remember? Because Kenyatta was set. And when Kenyatta decided that he's going to be stepping back for whatever reason, whatever happened, he stepped back. And as a result of him being able to step back, there were some calls that went out. And I was living in the constituency at the time. And I've never said anything to anybody, but, quietly I was like, boy, if they called me, that'd be an amazing thing, eh? And call back, don't. Call back. If you call in 827-0111, 827-0111, I see a call coming through. And, well, this may be people just want to talk, but you're talking on the radio if you call me. You're talking on the internet live to everyone if you call me on 827, all right? And when I saw Kenyatta step back, I had this kind of a quiet desire and aspiration. I said, boy, if they called me, that'd be something, hey, my God. Because I had already put myself forward for something else. And I was rejected. Anyway, nonetheless, Vaughn got it, right? I said, well, mate, Vaughn got it. And he came in on a wave. He left the PLP, he left the Free National Movement, sat as an independent, continued to be able to bolster his value from the political standpoint, identified a particular cause to champion. And as he championed that cause, persons knew him the world over as it relates to his push in this country. And the PLP utilized him. They pulled him in as a result of that. I told Mark Alpine, I said, Mark Alpine, that's what you need to do. Before Vaughn did any of this, I told Mark Alpine this. I said, Mark Alpine, you have to sit as an independent first. Identify something to champion, whether that be molestation, rapes, crime, guns, whatever you decide that this is going to be your fight and your plight, you have to go at this hard. I said, when the PLP sees value in you, they will pull you in. You cannot decide as a Free National Movement member to walk to the PLP and say, I want to walk the floor to come to you. I said, you can't do that. Not that this was he was considering. I'm just simply saying to him, I've seen some people do that and it depreciates your value. Unless there is desperation on the other side. Take, for instance, Renwood Wells and Andre Rollins, who gave strength to Menace when he needed his strength. Just when he needed his strength, they gave strength to him. So they could walk the floor and still get the things that they desired. Okay. So he gave significant value in his particular capacity when he walked the floor. Boom, the PLP absorbed him. He wanted to be in the PLP for a long time. He applied for the PLP in Eleuthero, South and Central, for a long time. Was it South and Central or North? Anyway, he wanted to go as a member of parliament to represent Eleuthero. Never got that opportunity, but he found victory in Golden Isles. Bang! And with that victory, he stepped back and he found himself again victorious. Bam! With another wave. I don't think that this election can bring a wave. I don't. And if we're looking regionally at the numbers that persist, if there are low voter turnout numbers in this country, the PLP could possibly will win the next general election if there are low voter turnout numbers. And I don't see the Free National Movement doing anything to be able to rally the type of support that caused people to run towards registration and show up in mass numbers. It appears, based upon what we're hearing in social media, that there's a lot of recycling going on, that persons are moving from constituency to constituency in other constituencies. I would have heard Maria Daxon in one of the constituencies when there was a significant contingent of Free National Movement members walking through. I just watched a video and she says, but y'all don't even live through here. Y'all don't even live through here. And that's sort of the theme that I've heard. You gotta be able to do more. You can't just give the appearance. It's got to be authentic. It can't just be the appearance of people moving. It has to be an authentic movement. That's what the Free National Movement is all about. A movement. Now, if you lost your sort of your oomph, sort of a je ne sais quoi, your strength for an organization and the understanding of what movement is, then you're going to have to be able to revisit the drawing board. Yeah. You can't keep taking people from Elizabeth and carrying them in Golden Gates and carrying them from Golden Gates to Golden Isles. And you can't do that. I mean, you can, but I don't know whether or not it'll bode well for you in that particular spot and position. So, yeah, Golden Isles has a good opportunity for... it seems as though the Free National Movement may be able to take this seat with Brian Brown. He's been consistent. He's a resident of the constituency. He has a strong party, strong team that walks with him, independent of other persons. These are people that live in Coral Harbor. These are people that live in Golden Isles. And Brian Brown has them on his side. They've been working with him for 4 years. He just may win this. Especially if the PLP has not come up with a candidate just yet for that constituency. You can't compete and combat what he's been building all this time. There are few people that can be able to beat him, and familiarity could beat him. If at one point we start to talk about hypothetically being able to move Michael Alcides from St. Barnabas and take him back there, that would have worked at some point. But Michael has established himself in St. Barnabas, and we believe that he's going to get the victory there. Just observation. I know that Shannon only has nobody saying that, but that's just through observation. He's used your playbook, sir. He has used your playbook. You went into the constituency, you looked for those persons, you took care of them, they spread the message of the constituency. Hey, listen, this member of parliament is take care of people. He used your playbook. You can't beat him with that now. You can't beat him. Because he has the purse of the government. He has the support. He has the position. He could be able to execute. He's building these things. He has the clinic that's going up, the Coconut Grove Clinic, right? You can't beat him in there. I mean, you may want to fight me and say, how would you? You can't beat him in there. Through observation. Who knows? Me and all the people say, well, God has the last say in these things. Okay, well, praise God. I'm not going to fight you. But I don't see it. All right? And Southern Shores, I hear in some names called in Southern Shores, I see they put Denley Penn in there. We don't know who they put in there for the for the Progressive Liberal Party. I hear some names called about who's going to go there for Southern Shores. I hear some names called. This is going to be a big fight also. Because Denley is a fighter. She can fight. She wasn't even supposed to get the nomination here. When I say that, I said because there were other persons who were being identified and being looked at for this. And there were some qualified, capable people in this constituency that was running for the Free National Movement, and she beat them all out. Miriam Emanuel, Shepherd, and Dr. MacGyver. No, who's a doctor? It was a doctor. And she beat them all out. Boom! And she found herself in this position. You're going to have hell to beat her. But, as long as you don't let no one walk with you with a tattered and torn record as a PLP member or PLP candidate in the constituency of Southern Shores, and you start on a fresh slate and present yourself accordingly and remind those people of the tenets of your organization, as opposed to being able to talk about traditions and personalities that exist in this particular space, you could find yourself victorious. Especially if it is someone who is savvy about politics in this country. Because Denley is an enthusiast. She's a political enthusiast, but she's not necessarily enriched with the political history about these particular things. And I mean, I could be wrong about her, but based upon what we're saying, she is definitely enthusiastic for the issues that exist now and talking about how she could be able to change those things now. But if you're a true politician who understands the history of politics in this country and how the rhythm of things work, you could possibly be able to beat her. Experience could be able to beat out this kind of an enthusiasm. I mean, just through conversation, we could be able to say that, right? All right. And what time is it? All right, it's 10 minutes to. All right, this is the last little pinch of a commercial break. And when we get back, we're just going to be able to get you with some of these things and talk about these things. Quick commercial break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Well, I gave it the number one and I drove it home. When I gave her number one, I drove it home. When I gave her number one and she said the fun has just begun, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her number two and I drove it home. When I gave her number two, I drove it home. When I gave her number two, she said, darling, this can't be true, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her number three and I drove it home. When I gave her number three, I drove it home. When I gave her number three, she said, please make love to me, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. Then I gave her number four and I drove it home. When I gave her number four, I drove it home. When I gave her number four and she said, darling, give me more, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her number five and drove it home. When I gave her number five, I drove it home. When I gave her number five, she said, oh Lord, I'm so alive, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. Then I gave her number six and I drove it home. When I gave her number six, I drove it home. When I gave her number six and she said, I feel like I want more, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her number seven and drove it home. When I gave her number seven, I drove it home. When I gave her number seven, she said, darling, I'm in heaven, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. Then I gave her number eight and I drove it home. When I gave her number eight, I drove it home. When I gave her number eight, she said, wait, cause I'm a little bit late, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. Then I gave her number nine and drove it home. When I gave her number nine, I drove it home. When I gave her number nine, she said, ooh, I'm right on time, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her number 10 and I drove it home, but I was getting tired. When I gave her number 10 and drove it home, I was getting tired. When I gave her number 10 and she said, honey, the old boy Ben, but put your lips close to mine and drive it home. But I raised up number 11 and drove it home. I raised up number 11 and drove it home. When I raised up number 11, she said, you've got to be a Bahamian, put your lips close to mine and drive it home. So I gave her a full 1 dozen and drove it home. I gave her the full 1 dozen and drove it home. When I gave her the full 1 dozen, I found out she was my first cousin, but I put my lips close to hers and I drove it home. You better believe me. Now who put the pepper in the Vaseline?
My Lord. So we take a challenge. What is it? You understand? My Lord.
In the Vaseline, oh Lord, I can't stand this
was living in this apartment. 5 months gone by, they don't pay no rent. They never tipped the maid a solitary cent. So she got some hot pepper, mixed it up in the Vaseline, and away she went. And here the sissy. Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Now who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Damn it, my bungie on fire. Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Oh Lord, I can't stand this pain. I want to know who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Oh Lord, I can't stand this pain. Listen, they sent for a police to investigate. 1 o'clock in the morning, sissy policeman knocking on the gate. 1:15, I heard that policeman.
All right, guys, and we are back. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. 5 minutes before we get out of here, I want to thank you guys for being able to tune in with us. I got to remind you, though, just as a courtesy to the potential and you not saying, boy, I wish I could get in when it was affordable, eh? Yeah, man, I wish I could be able to spill my guts about the steps that we're going to make. And the steps that we're taking. Somebody call this a media takeover. Praise God. I'm not going to fight you for your assumption of what this is. But I'm going to ask you for your support for what this can be. Yeah. There is an opportunity that exists here for all of us. And no matter, I'm at the forefront in terms of being able to put the structure together, but this paper that's coming out, I want to hear your scrutiny. I want to well, Howard, you ain't do this and you ain't do that and you got to do this better. And I'm going to take all of that into account. Please purchase the paper and scrutinize it. Give me your constructive criticisms. Give me your criticisms. However you want to deliver it, give me the criticisms. Because we intend to be here for the long term. And so I'd like to know from you SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, what could have happened, what shouldn't happen, why you do this, the same make no sense. The paper's already done. The paper's en route to Nassau now. My distributors are waiting on the paper now. So I want your scrutiny. But I want your support. I want your support. I need your support. There are many a business that sell you all manner of debauchery. I can't even get away, man. There are many a business that sell you all manner of darkness. My God. And you put your money behind these things for the purposes of whatever. That's what you want. That's what you like. I'm asking you to assist us. With a portion of these funds, we want to be able to feed people every month. With a portion of these funds, I want to be able to hire some people. I got to hire some people. With a portion of these funds, we're going to be stepping out in some other areas. I need your support. I need your support. So I'm asking you, hit me up, 827-0111. I want your advertisements. The paper is 12 pages today, but we have decided that we're going to go with 20 pages or more every time that we print. I want you to be able to give me your letters to the editor. I want you to be able to do these things. There's a couple people I asked to do some columns for me. If you want to do some columns, come on, man. Let's do it. If you're a journalist and you want to be able to find something freelancing, maybe you found another job, but this is something that you missed, something that you love. I probably know you anyhow. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we can make this thing happen and how we could be able to move forward with a paper that belongs to us. Not owned by our former enslavers. Come on. I can't boast and say my paper is 190 years old. I can boast and say that this paper was birthed out of necessity in a time and an era where we see neocolonialism seeking to be able to take over our country like colonialism. And as a result of that, we were propelled to do our part. We want you to join in. We want you to be a part of what we're doing as we move forward. 827-0111. Thank you guys so much for being able to do this. I want to talk more about these things. Let's even get some members of parliament in here to have a good conversation, guys. If you're interested, I'd love you to do that. We're live every day, so you can be able to hit me up and talk about these things. I got a private number for you if you want to know more about that. Or you can hit me up on an email, howard.r.grant@gmail.com, howard.r.grant@gmail.com, to find out about these things. Howard, how can I sell the paper for you? How can I be a part of that? I want to be a street vendor. I have a store. I want to sell your papers in the store. 827-0111. Don't confine yourself to these things. This kind of a tradition that exists here. Let's think outside the box and let's make some things happen. Guys, I'm going to see you tomorrow. God Spare Life right here on The Foundation.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.